Hello and welcome to Flat Earth and Other Hot Potatoes. This is episode number 163. My guest is D Marble. He lives in Tacoma, Washington. He's from Alabama. He started his YouTube channel in 2014, and at that time he had meditation videos, fitness videos, and then he went down the rabbit hole and became a flat earther. His straightforward approach, his willingness to get out and perform experiments on camera, and his sense of humor has gained him quite the following. He recently made it into mainstream news headlines with his spirit level test. IFLscience.com did an article on him, and I've linked it in the description box of this video. And all of a sudden, people were coming out of the woodwork, subscribing to his channel, trolling him, talking about him, and talking to him. That's what happens when you become a flat earther. We are going to be talking a little bit of flat earth, fitness, talk about the creator perhaps, and more. Let's welcome D Marble to the show. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Patricia. Thanks for having me.
You are in a van down by the river.
I am in the middle of the city, mooching off of Wi-Fi right now.
That's pretty cool, actually. Have you ever noticed on people's Wi-Fi it sometimes says FBI surveillance van Wi-Fi?
That was the exact name I gave to my Wi-Fi in an apartment not too far from here. That's hilarious.
It is. You need to have flat Earth van or something like that.
Yeah. I got to get some stickers to put on the sides and all that.
Exactly. It's kind of interesting. You're the first person that's done a show from a van. We have had a show done from inside a taxi in the UK before, and in a speeding car down a road. It was another show. So this is the first one in a parked van. So
nice. All right. Trendsetter over here.
Exactly. Let me see that shirt.
Oh, here, you like that? That's I went and actually ordered the shirt online, and then I got the letters put on a little bit later on. So,
well, for those who don't know what hashtag FE offensive means, you have a video about it, but tell us about it.
Well, the idea, since I became a flat earther or came into the idea of the flat earth, there's that old saying that people understand: when you're in a conversation with someone, the person asking the questions is the one that kind of controls the conversation. So being that I was always the one receiving the questions, I'm answering question after question, that kind of made me feel like I was always on the defensive. So, I kind of got sick of that, you know what I mean? And, I just started going back, and when people would start asking me questions on Twitter, after I would post something, I would start to ask them questions, and then I would use a little fist emoji and a little explosion emoji, and then I would write FE offensive, hashtag FE offensive at the end of my tweet. But that's pretty much where that started at. But we as flat earthers have always been in a position, as far as I know, we've gained popularity in the last few years as far as the flat earth movement, but we're always being questioned, and that puts us on the defensive, and because they're going to ask question after question. So now we go on the offensive. Now we kind of start to ask them about their model, and then in doing that, we realize that we know more about the heliocentric model than they do most of the time. So that's what that's about. It's just time for us to get some attitude and fight back.
I like that hashtag FE offensive. There's a few different hashtags going around. I mean, a lot of people are suggesting that whenever you use social media, just hashtag it flat earth. And then there's hashtag globe exit.
Yes, I use those.
So from IPS. So yeah, anything that we can do to get it out there is a good thing. So most of the time when I do a show, I ask people how you came to the conclusion that the earth is not a globe. What's your story?
Well, about 2 years ago, my girlfriend at the time and myself, we were watching a show named Under the Dome. Have you seen that one?
I've heard about it.
Yeah, it was, small town, and they're covered in this dome, and they start losing their minds. They're thinking that food's starting to run out, start killing each other, things like that. So, I mean, it was an interesting show. And we watched that on Netflix, watched all 3 seasons. And then because we didn't have cable, trying to save money and stay unplugged from the system, we went to YouTube to see if there was any additional content. And there was we looked around, we saw some behind the scenes, some bloopers, outtakes, and all that. And after that, I saw this other video. It looked like the Earth, and it was flat, and it had a dome under it, and it was titled "Under the Dome." That's all it said. And I click on it,
And you were thinking it was going to be just some aspect of this great TV show that you were watching.
Yeah, we were just kind of, we didn't have a whole lot going on. So I'm like, yeah, it was like a 2-hour video. I didn't even look at it. But I clicked on that, didn't look at the time. And the first words I hear is, this is Reader's Digest version of the interesting parts of the flat Earth movement or flat Earth theory. And that voice, that cool voice, that was Mark Sargent.
Yep.
And it was a 2-hour compilation of all of his flat Earth clues. So I mean, we're talking back and forth in between each clue. We'll like pause it, like, yo, that makes a lot of sense. Did you hear that crap? Wait, hold on. What do you mean there's more land in Antarctica? You know what? NASA could be faking it. I mean, like 2 hours later, we were looking at each other like the Earth is definitely flat. So, that was about it. And because we were already kind of into conspiracy theories already, I mean, we were at a point where we didn't really trust anything the government was saying anyway. So we're like, that wouldn't surprise me if they were hiding something like that.
Well, I want to know what you initially did to test this. But first, what other conspiracies had you, both of you, or just you yourself, been looking into prior to this whole thing with Flat Earth?
Ooh, well, we looked a lot into, I mean, just the general things.
9/11.
9/11, Sandy Hook, just going into the Rothschilds, Illuminati, all that normal stuff, going down the rabbit hole, the Masons, all the, the hand signs, and I'm not even going to do those because somebody will be saying, he's a shill. I knew it. but all that stuff. We got into all that, and the Hollywood, the music industry, how they kind of do these weird rituals before they release CDs and all. I mean, we got way, way in there. And by that time, I was at a point where I'm like, I wouldn't put anything past our government at this point, because the same people that are doing those things are the same people that are running the government. They're the same people that are running banks, and the same people running the companies, same people running Hollywood. So yeah, they're running NASA too. So, I mean, they're lying everywhere else. Why aren't they lying there?
Yeah, a liar always lies. It's definitely one thing you can always count on.
Mm-hmm.
So, experiments. You found out this information. You saw the Under the Dome compilation of Mark Sargent's work.
Yes.
Mark woke me up too. Many of us who are watching now have that same experience. Or it was Powerland, or it was Dubai, or a couple other people that have also been important in people's wake up.
Mm-hmm.
What did you do? Did you go out and look across bodies of water?
Well, there was all that. I mean, we, for the most part, just watched. I mean, we were stuck inside watching videos for like months on end before we would even talk to anyone. It took me about 4 months before I would even out loud say the Earth is flat.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a huge mental shift. And the way that I remember is that the thing that connected it for me is because I'm from Arkansas, and going fishing with my dad growing up, we would wake up at like 4:30 in the morning. He'd get me up. I'd get in my clothes. We'd hop in the truck, go to the bait shop, and we would drive off to his job. There was the Arkansas River was connected to his job, so we would be out there fishing, and it would be bright and early. So we'd make sure we get out there. He was a hardcore fisherman, still is, but we want to get out there before the fish, start biting or stop biting before it gets too hot. So I remember, what was that? All right. I remember sitting next to the lake, and the surface was always flat. And like the very beginning of us starting to fish, I'd cast my line, and then I would see the ripples go from where they are to the shore where I am, and then all the way to the shore across the way. And I remembered that while we were talking about the whole flat Earth So that's my main thing. Bodies of water don't curve. I've been fishing enough to know that. I'm not gullible enough to sit here and say, well, yeah, of course, after about 26 miles, the event horizon, that's where water starts to curve. That's nonsense. So I just picked up on it from that, from that experience. Going
Nice
fishing.
memory going out with your dad too. Just on a side note, those sorts of memories, like, they last a lifetime. And I think you said you stopped off at the bakery first. That's a sweet memory.
At the bake shop, we both get an A&W root beer. It was good times.
Yeah. You did this video when you were talking about how when you started talking to a certain friend of yours about flat Earth, they kind of unfriended you and they sent you via email pictures of water forming into a drop. And you changed your stance from saying that water doesn't form into a sphere and over in large bodies of water, but in droplets. Yes. So tell us about that. The friend breakup that you had.
Oh, yes. Can we say names? No.
Sure.
So this guy Tony, from when I was in the Army. Here, hold on. I still wear my tags sometimes. I did 8 years, got out, but when I was in this one unit, this guy shows up, and he was a smart guy. He's still a smart guy, and I'm not mad at him for how that went. But along with being intelligent, there comes a sense of arrogance that people will show. And I kind of took the role as a friend / mentor, because not a lot of people were trying to hang out with him because of that arrogance that was apparent in him. And he was one of the youngest soldiers in the unit. I'm like, Tony, look, dude, I know you're smart, man, but you can't walk around acting like you're the smartest guy in the room all the time, because that's kind of condescending, and people are going to think you're a jerk. So I mean, we were friends that way, and I went to his wedding, and I mean, we were good. Used to play World of Warcraft together. Yeah, I did that.
Mark Sargent will like to hear that.
So there was that. But we lost contact for a while, and he sent me a message on Facebook. Hey man, how you doing? Just after a few years, I'm like, oh hey Tony, what's up? And we reconnect. We're friends on Facebook again. We're agreeing on political views and all that. And then he sees me posting some things about flat Earth. Pops up on one of my posts. Dude, the Earth is not flat. I'm like, Tony, look. Yes, it is. I've flown a lot, and I didn't see any curvature out of the window of the plane. Yes, you did. Do not tell me what I saw in the plane, Tony. So, it just went from there. He said, I'm sorry you are having such issues living in such a small world, or something like that. And then
being condescending.
Indeed. So I wanted to message him back, but by the time I was going to, I realized he had unfriended and blocked me. So I'm like, you mother. No, I wasn't going. So, I was upset about that. So I remembered, still in the Army. So I emailed the guy, and I'm like, look, man, the fact of the matter is that bodies of water, at the time I was saying water doesn't curve, okay? Mm-hmm. Water doesn't curve. I know this. You know this. And he just sends me back something condescending. Well, here you go for your viewing pleasure. And he sends me a link to Google, and it's a bunch of pictures of droplets, as if the ocean is a single droplet. So at that point, I'm like, okay, he got the last word there.
For your viewing pleasure, too.
For your viewing pleasure, yeah. Nice. Yeah, single droplets. So you see, water does curve, and I still get that from people today. I'm like,
oh, yeah.
That's why I specify now bodies of water don't curve. Now, and that's why I like to say, do you understand the definition of bodies of water? That means, like, when water accumulates to a point to where it reaches all edges, the surface generally lays flat. Okay. That's how I kind of approach people with that now. So bodies of water, lakes, ponds, puddles, oceans, for God's sake, the surface is generally flat. And people will still say, well, I mean, haven't you seen waves?
What about a waterfall?
waterfall. I'm like, dude, when water reaches its level, I'm going to have to change the whole statement. Whenever water reaches its level and finds edges on all sides, the surface lays generally flat. I mean, I won't have any more characters to tweak with if I start doing that. So I'm just like, bodies of water don't curve. So that's how I came to all that.
Has he, have you reconnected with him, or is he just like, I'm out of here?
Yeah, he better be out of here.
I wonder if he knows you have a YouTube channel now.
Oh, I think he does. I'm pretty sure.
He could be watching right now.
What's up, buddy? How you doing? How you like me now? All right, so.
I love that. Love that attitude. I'm going to go into the live chat and say hello to a few people. Mark Sargent came in right when you mentioned Warcraft and said Warcraft in all caps. So there you go. We have ODD Reality coming in to say thumbs up, like, share, subscribe. And if you're a flat earther, don't diss other flat earthers. Time to unite. What a great message from
That's
ODD.
Right. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Hada Caveman 444 and Carly Sunshine and Four Eyes to See. And Jonathan Roberts and Martin Liedke, Nathan Oakley, and Shirtless Flat Earther is here. I'm hoping that Shirtless is wearing a shirt, because this is a, no shirt, no shoes, no service sort of operation going on. Right. We have the tomfoolery of the International Space Stage here as well. And Uktina Walker. And hello to everyone else. I don't want to take up the entire show by saying hi, but just want to say, Wesley Stace and Kittens of the Flat Still Earth and a bunch of other people, hi. And we'll visit chat again in the near future. It's nice just to say hello to all of our Flat Earth friends, and even some Flat Earth enemies are in the chat. Well, they think they're enemies, but I don't see anybody as an enemy. Everyone's just a future Flat Earther, or they're already a flat earther. They just don't know it.
Don't know it yet. There you go. That's what I'm saying. I like it. I say that all the time. I'm like, we're all flat earthers. Just half of us don't know it yet. That's all.
Yeah, and it's where we were born. So, and where we live out our entire life. Right. Funny to think about it. The globe is a joke when you look at it now. It's a toy.
It is. It is. And I'm sorry. We're gonna have to take your ball away, kids.
Exactly.
Sorry.
What about people in your life, family members, etc.? Do they know about your newfound flat eartherism, and how are they taking it?
They're fine. They're good. I talk to my mom a lot. Hey, Mom, how you doing? I talk to my sister. She's cool with it. I mean, I'm not getting a whole lot of kickback, from family. So, I mean, we're pretty neutral. Everybody's pretty neutral or positive. Everything's fine.
So is anyone in your family, a close friend circle, gone along the flat earth path with you? Or are they just like my family? Yeah, it's not for us, but it makes a lot of sense, and you go, girl.
No. What happened, I'm in Washington alone. My siblings are in Arkansas and Michigan.
Oh, wow, really?
Yes.
I lived in Kalamazoo, Michigan for a really long time. What part of Michigan, out of curiosity?
Pontiac and I believe Flint.
Okay, I know where those areas are.
Mom's in Detroit. Yeah, so that's where we're at.
Yeah, I have a sister in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and a brother in New Orleans. So, but I lived in Michigan for a very long time, and I'm going to be going there in August. My niece is getting married, and I'm going to do a flat earth meetup there. I'm going to do some flat earth bowling. So
cool.
I don't know how many flat earthers are potentially in Michigan. I know a couple of them, but they're everywhere.
They are. They are.
I was talking with Mark Sargent on our secret show yesterday, the 24th of May, and we were talking about what I want to talk about next, you and the spirit level, and how you took it on a plane, and how it would be funny if people started doing that. And then when you were at the airport waiting to board, you could identify other flat earthers because they were holding a spirit level.
Right. That'd be awesome. Well, yeah. Actually, I have a flight later this evening.
And you're ready.
I am. I always take my camera with me. Gonna have my trusty level with me. So yeah, that was one thing that I did actually talk about it in the video. I said, you know, this is a pretty easy experiment to do. If you have $10, go to your local hardware store, grab one of these spirit levels, and you know, you can do this yourself. And just I mean, anybody that saw the video, just face it towards the front of the plane. It's going to show you, you know, whether or not it's level. It's fairly simple. But can I talk about one of the rebuttals for the experiment? Okay, so awesome. So what I get from people as far as the experiment goes is they'll say, well, no, because gravity. You know, they love that one. You know, gravity. Because the plane is maintaining altitude, it's going to be flying along the plane, and it was just flying straight because gravity. So, and I'm like, all right, cool. Let's say that is the case. That's why the plane was flying level. Now, in your model, what you're saying is the plane was flying level. I showed that the plane is flying level, but even if it were just flying level, and if it did just decrease velocities to maintain altitude, at some point the ground beneath is still going to curve. So at some point, you're going to have to dip the nose forward in order to compensate for the curvature. And over the course of 203 miles, that didn't happen. In your face, Glober. So, you know, that was it.
Where'd you get the idea to do the spirit level thing?
I was talking to some guys about flat Earth. Won't be doing that much anymore, guys. But I would take a break every now and then. There's a crew I work with that, I mean, we would have a few minutes to talk, and every now and then I'd go around and talk to those guys. There were about 5 of them. There was Omar and Ron. They were cool. There was Mark. He was kind of on the fence. And then there was Kurt and Jake.
Oh, there's always a Kurt and Jake in the group.
There's always a Kurt and Jake. Hey, Jake, how you doing? So, you know, those two weren't hearing any of it. They'll come around though. Anyway, Not going to be talking about that at work, by the way, just for the record. If anybody's watching, I'm good now. Anyway, so I was talking to Omar and Ron, and they were kind of hearing me out. And I said, you know what? What I realized, I was like a spirit level. You know, a little level like this wouldn't work, because look, if we're in Tacoma and the bubble can stay centered here, you know, and you go 200 miles to, you know, south to Portland, and it's still level there. I mean, doesn't that kind of say something to you? And I thought about that. I'm like, well, that's not really valid. But if you did that on a plane, on an airplane, that might make a little more sense. So I had that idea, and I just grabbed my level and went to Georgia to visit my daughter for her 10th birthday. Hey, baby. And you know, kind of, I was there the whole time, just trying to figure out what I was going to do. And, you know, just kind of took notes and had it on my mind as far as how I was going to record in the airport, and the different things I was going to talk about. Took notes and, you know, just recorded, uploaded, added some music, and that was it. So, you know, fast forward.
Spirit level sales at Lowe's and Home Depot and other home improvement stores throughout the plane are going through the roof at this very moment.
Which reminds me, I should have bought some stock in Swanson, but it might be too late for that now.
Are they the ones that the number one manufacturer of spirit level?
No, that's the one I got. And I was like, I said that in the video. I'm like, I'm not getting paid by Swanson to promote, so it doesn't have to be sponsored. This one. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah.
You know, someday probably there will be flat earthers that are sponsored by certain companies. The world would completely have to change, but the world is changing little by little. I mean, we're doing it. You're doing it with your videos. What is the name of the video where you do the trip with the spirit level? I was speaking with Mark Sargent today, right before I did this show. And just for those who haven't seen that video yet.
Oh, it was Flat Earth, spirit level flight experiment.
All right, I'm going to put that in the description box of this video. I did put a link to you had a popular channel before mainstream media got a hold of you. Nah. But once they did, because of the spirit level video, you suddenly had a huge increase in subscribers and interests, both negative and positive. Tell us about all of this.
Well, on the positive, I would like to say I appreciate everyone who is subscribed to my channel, who's taken the time to listen to what I have to say.
Oh, we've frozen, and hopefully he will disconnect and come back.
Get back on here. Oh, come on.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Somehow
darn it, Lowe's. What the heck? All right.
The Wi-Fi there is, they know you're here. You know how people get really paranoid?
Right. I know. I'm like, they're on to me, man. You know, so, but yeah, I appreciate everyone for tuning in. And, you know, I'm just overwhelmed by the support that I get in my Facebook group. It's not my Facebook group. I don't want to run a Facebook group, actually. I just want to be out there in the streets doing these experiments, doing videos, and just kind of being the flat earth hype man out here. Like, let's go. Let's do this thing. You know, it's time for us to step it up. Let's get it. So, you know, I don't, but the Facebook group, I get so many people saying, hey, we got your back. We're here for you. We love what you're doing. Thanks for stepping out and standing
What's the
up
name of the group? I'll put that in the description box as well.
It's called Flat Earth.
Uh-oh. Disappeared again. The Wi-Fi disconnected, and it'll probably connect back up. He's in a van outside of Lowe's, which is a hardware store, and he'll pop back up. I see him popping up as we speak. So it'll take a couple seconds for that to cycle through and for him to come back. Wi-Fi is a tricky beast, especially when you're using the free-flowing Wi-Fi. So hopefully he will come back. I see his picture. So he was going to be telling us about his Facebook group. When I first started in Flat Earth, I did join a couple of groups, but I quickly got out because although the groups are really great, especially when you're either a person who knows a lot about explaining the science behind Flat Earth, which isn't me, or you like arguing, they're really great for both of those things. So I'm not a group person, but I think groups are essential, and Facebook is killing it with the Flat Earth groups. You are back.
Hi. All right, I'm back. Just technical difficulties out here.
You have to run into Lowe's and say, strengthen your Wi-Fi. I don't have enough bars out here.
I'm like, guys, seriously, let me turn my phone off. No, I turned it off. We're good. Okay, so
Facebook group. What is the name of it?
Facebook group, Flat Earth No Trolls. That is the no trolls in our group. We find anybody, you know, asking too many odd questions or calling anybody names, you're getting the boot. It's a safe place for anybody that has an open mind and needs a place to link up with like minds. And that's good.
That's a good type of group on Facebook. You know, there's those other groups where people are just fighting all the time. Those, I don't have time for that.
No, there's none of that. And I, talk to the moderators, the admin, to try to keep it. Let's stay on a positive. Let's all work together. We're all a team here. We're all the Flat Earth family. Come on, it's time to unite. We got to, come together so we can change this world. Let's go.
That's what ODD said in the comments of this video earlier. I agree. All of us may have different views of the shape or little aspects of it, or we may not like another person's personality for some reason. But in the end, we need to get over ourselves and accept each other's differences and realize that it's us, Flat Earthers, against people who strongly are pushing the ball. And waking up the people who don't really even realize that there's such a thing as Flat Earth is our goal. The people who are strongly pushing the ball, they can enjoy that. But being kind to each other, supporting each other, subscribing and sharing and liking and commenting and giving suggestions, that's the way that we get this done. I don't know what we're actually going to aim for. I guess it's waking up everyone.
It's a mass awakening to a point to where every time they put out one of these NASA live feeds of the Earth, the comment section is just flooded with people saying, "We know that's fake. Okay, we know you're in a pool. Where are the bubbles? Where are they at?" Every time they pop on some little bogus article saying that they found a lot of new planets, we're going to be in the comment section like, "No, no, it's not. No, you didn't. You didn't go to space. Cut that out. You guys can't get over low Earth orbit. We heard you say it." Okay. So, you know, I mean, it's just to the point, I suppose, where we just have to force change out of this whole situation. ODD, by the way, love the 21 questions video, man. Thanks for that.
That 21 questions video and his video Flat Earth in 5 minutes are two amazing videos to send to new flat earthers to wake them up, or potential flat earthers, especially the Flat Earth in 5 minutes, because a lot of people, they'll say, oh, I don't want to watch anything long.
Right.
And you know, for me, it's the longer the better, the more the better, but everyone's different. So
right. And that's something that I try to remember while making videos, that because I myself have a short attention span. I like to think that I'm a pretty normal guy. So I'm like, yeah, I think other people might get distracted. Wait, what was that? Oh, so, you know, other people might get distracted fairly quickly. And so I try to keep my videos short that way. You know, I'm like trying to make videos for how I receive them along the way, or how I would like them. And I try to be more relatable.
Yeah. Well, one thing about you for sure is immediately when I first saw you, I thought this guy is totally natural and totally relatable. And I just thought this guy's a winner, must get him on. And then what we were going to talk about before the connection died, which is mainstream media found out about your spirit level thing. And tell us about that, and tell us that's a huge thing.
It is. I don't know exactly how mainstream it is now.
Well, it's a mainstream science blog. So
yeah. You know, the first thing I got, again, I got a message from Mark Sargent. He says, "Hey, you made the news, man." I'm like, "Wait, what?" So I click on the link.
There's no evidence of anything that I did. What are you talking about?
Yeah. You know, so I read this thing, and I don't know. I was at work when I read it for the first time, and I'm having mixed feelings. Like, okay, Flat Earthers experiment went viral, but not in the way he thought. It was just a total hit piece, and I mean, I've had personal insults from an individual, but nobody ever wrote an article calling me an idiot. So it was just kind of weird that way. So after a couple hours, the video went from 7,500 hits to about 50,000. A couple hours later, it was at 70,000. By the end of the day, it was at 133,000. I'm like, what? The next morning, I realized, yeah, it kind of backfired on you. Because the last thing you wanted to do was actually give me a stage, IFL Science. Oh man, it was awesome.
They put your channel in their article, which, you know, if you like you have said in one of your videos, if you want to keep Flat Earth on the down low, you don't want people to know about Flat Earth, don't put the video content maker's name and a link to their channel in there. In fact, don't mention Flat Earth at all. Do another story.
You know, I'm like, guys, that was a total miscalculation on your part.
Which is great. Love it.
I know. You know, now the video is over 600,000 hits, and you know, and counting, I suppose, because people keep talking about it. I've gotten a few messages saying, "Hey, we want you on our interview or on our radio show. We're in Dublin, Ireland. We're in the UK. Call us when you get some time." I'm like, that's new. So
I'm glad I got in when you're still a reachable guy before you climb to the ivory towers of Flat Earth.
Oh no, Patricia, I'll always make time for you.
So it's IFL Science. They're the first ones that started talking about you, and I put a link in the description box. But also, Good Magazine has done something on this. They're just picking up on and running the same story. Metro UK, Indie100.com. A bunch of other people are, you know, just taking this story and going with it. So it's, you know, it's not just IFL, it's a bunch of others. So.
I know. I saw something on Unilad.
Yeah, Unilad too. Yes.
I was like, Unilad. I know Unilad. Holy crap! So you know, I was kind of freaking out. I'm like, does anybody know if I made the news, like actual TV news or something? Because that, you know, this is crazy. This is crazy to me because, you know, like I said, it was 7,500 hits a couple weeks ago, and I was fine with that. But
have you noticed an increase in people subscribing, or the people getting a hit on that video or looking at your video, maybe potential debunkers, like, who the heck is this guy? Click.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of that. A lot of people just come back with a thoroughly scientific explanation of why I'm wrong. You're an idiot.
Brevity. You're an
No,
idiot.
no, no. Just you're an idiot. That's all. They don't explain why I'm an idiot exactly. I'd like to think that I was pretty clear with what I was doing. I might not have used the proper terminology all the time. Instead of saying curvature math, I could have used spherical trigonometry. But you know what I was talking about, man. Shut up.
Yeah.
So, you know, but it's just been a mix, and I've seen a few people actually watch the video and they come back and they'll leave a comment. Okay, there was one guy, he just said, okay, his experiment checks out. I'm a believer.
Wow. Yes.
Gotcha. So, it's been fun. It's been fun and interesting, seeing how people just kind of turn the corner, or the people being overrun with cognitive dissonance, where they just go on the attack immediately. And I just think that part of it could be attributed to my appearance.
What? I think you look open, bright, and sunny and happy.
Well, I appreciate that. I've gotten some of the meanest comments called, I mean, anything you can think of to insult someone's intelligence, and then their appearance. I've been told to go back to the plantation, as it were, things like that.
Gosh.
And yeah, I mean, just, hey, you're not a scientist. I'm like, actually, I looked up the definition of scientist, and let me see. Hold on, where is that thing? Oh, never mind. Anyway,
But we're all scientists. We are attempting to we're looking at things, and it's okay. A scientist should be trying to disprove things that are accepted as reality. Science should always be on that quest, and that would make us all scientists.
exactly. I mean, anyone going out and trying to acquire information as to the nature of the world that they live in by observation and experimentation. So, I looked that up this morning. I was like, oh, I guess I am a scientist. Nice.
It has to be repeatable, provable, and yeah, I mean, that's what's been done in flat Earth. And people always joke around and say, well, yeah, they don't respect us as scientists or as doing science because we don't wear white lab coats, or we don't have a degree in any of the sciences. But there are people who wear those white lab coats and have those degrees who are telling us that they have a rover on Mars. So, I mean,
there you go.
Yeah, exactly.
That nonsense. But yeah, there's that. So I just thought it'd be a fun thing to do. I wasn't seeking any sort of, I don't know, fame or fortune.
Infamy?
Yeah, no, not at all. I miscalculated, actually. I was just like, hey guys, I did that like for my group on Facebook. I'm like, hey guys, I got a flight. I'm gonna take my spirit level on. I need you to hook me up with some of that curvature math. Give me one of those memes with all the numbers on it. So, that's kind of how this went. And, there's the crew. They all remember when I first sent the message, posted that in the Facebook status. And, they all rushed in with support. They said, oh, that's an awesome idea. Posted the numbers and gave them to me. I put the numbers up in the videos. It was fun. But
you've got Twitter too, which is @dmarble1, @DMARBLE1. And I just right now followed you on Twitter. You were already following me. Where was I? Why was I left behind here?
Oh, wow. You have plenty of people following you. You probably
really.
didn't.
I my Twitter is how I first started a little bit of baby steps into flat Earth before I had a channel. Found out about it, Mark Sargent, same as you. And then I started doing little tweets. Sharing other people's videos or a sentence or two. I was scared. I was like dipping your toe in the water. And and I wasn't scared because I thought that I was wrong or dumb. It was, I just didn't know how people were going to react. And of course, I got the reaction on my Facebook, where my tweets often go, and on my Twitter, the way that I would have expected. A lot of people were like, yeah. And a lot of people were like, ugh, unsubscribe, unfriend, block, delete.
We're done.
But more people show up later, and then you find yourself having a different group around you. And because you've got a few numbers under your belt, meaning you have a few subscribers or a few Twitter followers, then people tend to take you more seriously, which is completely unfair, because a person who just starts a Twitter today with 0 followers and puts their first tweet out about flat Earth is just as valid as somebody who's got thousands of followers tweeting flat Earth. They just don't have the support yet. So
and that's actually who I look for. You know, anybody that's just getting started. You know, I'll find somebody that doesn't have like many followers or many Facebook friends or anything like that. And I like, you know, see, hey, you're new to this thing. I like tag them in very, hey, good job. I see you. What's going on? You know, we need to empower each other.
Yeah.
You know, from wherever we are, just so to, you know, just we need to continuously fortify and validate each other, because we get beat up so much talking to, you know, the heliocentric enthusiasts.
I like that. Heliocentric enthusiasts. You know, globers, globies, I've heard all of these terms, and some of them are funny, but some of them sound like it's a sort of a veiled insult. But
yes,
heliocentric enthusiasts. It sounds intelligent, sounds scientific. We should go with that.
Thank you. Is it kind of, I guess it's kind of like a backhanded compliment, but
exactly.
You know, it's all good.
So what are your plans for your channel in the future? Do you have any sort of big thing you've got coming up, or kind of keep making the videos and pushing the message and going forward?
I'm kind of an open book right now. I'm open to suggestions. I'd like to continue making videos and doing experiments. I just posted a new one this morning, like zooming in on some railroad tracks, talking about perspective. It was just like a minute and a half, just very short.
Yeah.
But just you know, as time goes by, like I said, this is all new to me. It's all very new. People are wanting to have me call into their radio shows and all that.
That's so cool.
I know, but I'm like, you know, my God, check it. I work on a military base. I go to the dining facility to get breakfast, and this girl, she's like, "Oh, it's you." I'm like, "What?" "Oh, me? Yeah, my friend posted your video on her Facebook." And I was like, "I know him." I'm like, "Oh, I had a fan." So that was
so cool.
That was weird. That was weird. I was like, "All right, hey," because I know I'm just me, you know, just doing stuff, but you know, that it's fun. I may end up selling shirts at some point.
I think it's a good idea. People say, "Oh, you know, you shouldn't sell the truth," but you know what? We need to wear shirts in this society.
Right.
So might as well be a shirt that has some kind of meaning behind it.
Yeah. This could be the uniform. This is my superhero costume. Wait, hold on. This and that right there.
There we go. But you also did a video where you were wearing an actual Superman t-shirt.
Yes. I was feeling super that day. So, you know, why not?
I think we should feel super every single day.
There you go.
We're the super flat earthers, and there's no stopping us.
That's right. That's right. There's a tidal wave coming. We're coming to take your ball, kids. I'm sorry. It's time for you to join the adults. Okay.
How long do you think it's going to take? I mean, we don't really know. What's your theory? Are we going to be able to get this, what they call mainstream? Some people feel that we shouldn't want it to go mainstream because it will cause all sorts of chaos and destruction and people screaming and burnings, buildings burning.
Well, the way I see it at this point, whether we take this mainstream or not, there are going to be people screaming and there's going to be chaos and buildings burning either way, because the people currently at the levels of power are kind of steering things in that direction with these false flags and, you know, the constant fear campaign. So if there's going to be chaos, let's have the end of the chaos be a positive place. And that's kind of my thought process behind that. And as far as a timeline, I've posted a few times that flat earth is going to be common knowledge within 5 years, and I'm personally going to see to that.
I love that attitude. You've got the can-do attitude for sure. Well, and the t-shirt to prove it. So Are there people in Flat Earth when you started? I mean, you like, Mark Sargent obviously influenced you. Are there
Yes.
other Flat Earthers whose way of doing videos or belief systems resonated with what you wanted to do? Well, I can take it back to Jaron. When Jaron was wanting to do his channel, he has told the story several times that he listened to Mark Sargent and it was like he already had the idea, but then he heard Mark doing it and it was like, okay, if this guy can do it, I can do it. Did you have any of those feelings?
Um, I guess so. I mean, you kind of gotta have some feeling like, yeah, I think I could do that. If you're gonna come out with these things. Definitely, I was influenced by Mark. I've watched a few of your shows. I've spent hours calmly listening to Eric Dubay, giving proof as to why we're not on a spinning ball. Uh, like I said, ODD. There was a guy, Aaron Dover. I'm not sure if he's still doing flat Earth videos.
Oh,
I saw.
he supposedly died in Thailand.
Oh,
That's a really sad flat earth story. I don't really have any actual proof of this, but it's definitely a story that swept the flat earth world, I believe, in maybe early April, but I think he died the month prior of 2017. He had
oh,
a lot of theories, some of them quite crazy, and he was a bit of a bombastic character and angered a bunch
right.
of people, rubbed people the wrong way, but he was an interesting person with interesting ideas and
Yes.
theories, some of which probably are true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Scary
Uh,
if indeed
a,
they
a, a,
are,
li-
but
a little bit. That's a little bit because I haven't heard good things happening to people who challenge the scientific community on the whole. So,
Mhm.
uh, yeah,
Yeah, we don't know. I mean, people were, of course, being that I mean, I've considered myself a conspiracy realist, but just say conspiracy theorist because everyone understands what that means. When it was reported that he died, there was all sorts of things like he's faked his death. It's a hoax. He's not dead. He's doing this himself, or he was pushed off a building, or he committed suicide because he couldn't take the situation.
oh wow,
In the end, only really Aaron knows for sure, and perhaps his close family. But if he is dead, it's sad when anybody
it
goes
is
at a young age like that. So
right, right.
yeah, but I
Uh,
I I definitely listened to him, and he was actually on Glowbusters at one point. So, and that didn't
okay.
actually work out too well for him, from what I remember. So
Oh gee,
one of those flat earth stories. There's these moments in flat earth. Somebody should do a flat earth timeline. It would take a lot of work, going all the way back to I don't mean ancient times because that would be a whole other thing, but
right.
with Eric and Meth Powerland, of course, and then
Hmm.
Mark Sargent as well, and then what happened and the comings and goings and the peaks and valleys and the crazy moments, and it would be very interesting
It would.
to keep track of. And there's always been stories that, oh, there's a reality show going on, or this is all for the reality show. Well, there isn't a reality show planned, although there's always been talk of it maybe happening. No one's bid on that yet because how can a movie studio or a TV station that airs their product on satellite TV be okay with a bunch of people on there who don't believe satellites exist? But
Right, right.
it's kind of a reality show, just our day-to-day activities
Yes.
in a way, watching what's going on. So it's kind of good because you know how you said that you were recognized by the woman. Um, we are taking back what the fakeness of celebrity, in that anybody can be known. You don't need a Hollywood machine behind you. You just have to be speaking truth, being known for doing something of value, like you
Yes.
were noticed.
Yeah. It's been fun. It's been fun. I guess my mission at this point is to bring something positive to the whole idea, and whatever I can contribute, however I can help out, I'll just continue to do the best that I can with this.
Before you became a flat earther, was the creator that sort of thought process in your mind and heart, or did flat earth make you kind of think a little bit more about that?
It's always been a part of my thought process, being from a family wherein my dad was preaching since before I was born. So it's always been there. I grew up in the church, and was attending services regularly up here. Stepped away from that for a while, but it never quite left my head that we're all here for a reason, and somebody put us here, obviously, because the idea of a big bang causing all of this, an explosion out of nothing, creating everything. That's like a bomb going off in a junkyard and you find a MacBook Pro.
Exactly. I made a bunch of soup the other day, and when I took it out of the refrigerator to heat it up again, I misjudged and it spilled all over the floor. And from that soup, I have achieved a brand new microphone.
I'm like, come on, man, really? Jeez, I have a hard time with that. I sometimes feel like, I guess my approach in the videos is kind of this feeling like, come on, man, you know this stuff. You know what I mean? I'm like, this is basic. This is basic stuff. Come on. I'm like, if you've ever been swimming, fishing, you've been out on a boat, you've been on a cruise, did you never go out to the deck when you were on the cruise ship, look from side to side and say, you know what? Yeah, all that water looks pretty flat. I mean, you never did that. You never, oh, come on, I'm like, this is easy. And I was talking to a friend of mine, AJ, and he's going to be working on a song. What's up, Renegade? All right. And he said he was like, I like when you on your video say, this. That's what I'm saying to people. I'm like, come on, man. If anybody's new to this, you're gonna be faced with the argument that all you say is bodies of water don't curve. That's the only argument you have. So, and to which you can turn around and say, that's the only argument that I need. Because it is, and that's why I start all my videos off that way. It's just obvious. It's just so obvious at this point. And if you don't know anything else about flat Earth except for bodies of water don't curve, that's the perfect place to start for anybody. Because I mean, I kind of red pilled a guy last Friday, just out of nowhere. I was just talking to a guy. I'm like, Sydney, listen, think about this. You've been fishing, yes, yeah. I'm like, Sydney, you notice how the lake was flat all the way across, right? Yeah. Sydney, the oceans are made of that same type of water. And he was just kind of stuck there for me. And he's like, water doesn't bend like that. He actually had his hand on his forehead. Like,
wow, like I could have had a V8.
Right. Like he was just kind of stuck there for a minute with his hand on his head. Like, water doesn't, you're right. I said, water doesn't bend like that. Therefore, say it, the earth is flat. Yes. So,
wow, that's, people can convert. It sounds weird to say convert, like, we're trying to convert new recruits, being in the military or having been in the military, but being able to do that very quickly and easily with just a few bits of information is an art, actually, and a skill. And I've had a little bit of luck, but mostly not in person, more with just videos and sending people videos. But what you did with Sydney is pretty remarkable. And I think you've got that personality that this, because it awakens that thing in people that they used to know when they were a child that got put to sleep with all the programming.
Yep. And that's what happens. We'll, get away from it, and we'll get into movies, TV, video games, things that kind of stifle our imagination and creativity. And this is something I used to struggle with myself. And I mean, I'd never really talked to anybody about this. It's what happens. We'll just get into these routines with our jobs, and, we'll go home and do the family thing or whatever. And, we'll just turn on the TV, tune into your sports teams, Jesus. All right. But we'll just kind of tune out, and we'll let that little box do all our thinking for us, and our imagination muscle begins to atrophy. So what we have to do is just start to find ways to expand our minds, and that's the problem in society. We have a hard time with imagination. So if we can just get someone to imagine sitting next to a calm lake on a just a nice day, picture the sun in the sky, picture the blue sky, the clouds flowing by quietly. You're sitting next to a lake. You're just relaxing. It's the most peaceful thing. Look out on the lake. Do you notice how the water is flat from that edge to the other? Yes. You do understand that the ocean follows the same rules as that lake? Yes. You're right. Yeah. What does that mean? It means the earth's flat, baby. I mean, that's all we have to do is just walk them through this process. It's a very, very simple way to just get someone unplugged if they have an open mind.
Yeah, they have to be ready. That's the key. Flat Earth is only available to people who are ready. Some people aren't ready, and I don't know what it is, but they are locked down tight. The
Oh yeah.
programming is taking control, and their first reaction to any of this is anger.
Ah yes, there is that. You know,
You're like
and that and
wild tiger jumping at you.
I know, and you know that's that thing that Morpheus said. You know, you have to understand that these people are so inert, so hopelessly dependent on this system that they are willing to fight for it,
Mhm.
and that's true.
It
you know,
is.
because they're still part of the system, and
Yes.
that's just what it is. We're the guys in the black with the shades on. We're the ones trying to free people's minds. That's who we are in this whole system. So, you know, a guy posted on one of my videos, this guy thinks he's Morpheus or Neo with the shades on. I'm like, you don't really understand what's going on here, do you? You know, we are trying to free people's minds. We are those soldiers from the Matrix. This is the Matrix. We are trying to unplug people from this thing, you know, to
And
create a better world.
then there's some people that just still want to eat their Matrix steak, and they know it's fake, but they
Right.
like it anyway. And you
Right.
have to just move on from those people and move on to other people who might have a more open mind, or, you know, otherwise it's a waste of your time and really stressful too.
I know.
Comments perhaps that you've received in your videos sometime. Do you spend much time responding to those crazy comments, or?
No, not the crazies, not so much anymore. I've learned how to filter out comments for bad words and all
Mhm.
that. So, you know, I don't have to deal with those as much. I have to go back every now and then and approve comments
Yeah, me too.
to come through. So there's that. I'll probably never get caught up on the spirit level experiment video because there's like 1,300 comments for me to go back, and I'm probably not going to get to them. Guys, look, if you made a comment and I didn't get back to you and it was a positive one, I appreciate you and I want to get back to you. I'm that one friend that you can text, and if I know that you sent me a text, I'm going to get back to you as soon as I can. Maybe I was out of range, maybe I didn't get Wi-Fi, maybe it didn't come through for whatever reason, but when I notice that you hit me up, I'm going to get back to you. That's the type of guy I am, but I'm having to struggle with that now because so many people are trying to get a hold of me, and I just can't get back to them all.
Well, with that spirit level video that I will link in the description box, that did get the mainstream attention and then spread and got you all of the views on that video, you're having a taste of what it might be like to be a hugely popular mainstream YouTuber. Like, let's say somebody like PewDiePie.
Whoa.
Well, you know what I mean. What
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying is that he can't answer all of the comments. It just, you know, Mark Sargent gets lots of comments, and he just sets his comments to approve all. Just let them all go.
Yeah.
And looking at the comment section of some of his videos, it's a troll fiesta because
No doubt.
people know they can go there and say anything, and Mark doesn't even read them. And it doesn't mean he doesn't care about the people who care about flat Earth and about what he's saying. It's that he doesn't have the time because he's busy doing like 3 interviews a day or something.
Yeah.
So same as you. Here you are with me, and you've probably got something scheduled, you know, with the White House tomorrow, the way you're going.
Well, I'm not going anywhere near there. Shoot, you know,
Yeah, probably not a good idea.
You know,
Not a good idea.
I'm not trying to be in a plane crash anytime soon. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
you know, but
If you hear about anything like that, it's you know.
right, guys. Look, I love my life.
Right.
I would not. Okay, just so you know, you heard it here. I'm good.
Right. Yeah.
You know, so
I think every one of us that's involved in this we are not suicidal. We have no suicidal wishes. We want to live, and we're enjoying life, and
it's
things are
true.
good.
I'm having fun. This is good. You know, I'm enjoying getting back to people, spreading positivity as best I can, and changing minds to be more open to reality.
Yeah, exactly. When you first started your channel, you did meditation videos and then you've done workout videos. So are things like meditation and working out still a part of your life?
I still work out, yes, and meditate from time to time. I probably need to start doing that a little more often, because like it said in the video, meditating it helps to clear your mind. I used to have a schedule. I wake up at 4 in the morning, and I
That's a
would
good start to your day. I wake up at 7 a.m. 4 is, I mean, that's really good.
I still do. I have to get up and get the van organized and
Oh, is that because
all
of your
that.
military background? Because you'd have to wake up quite early for that.
Well, the 4 in the morning thing, I have a job where I can go work out on base, so I'll wake up at 4 so I can make it to the gym by 5. I
Mm.
would meditate for about 20 minutes, and that would just clear my mind, and the rest of the day would be cake after the workout. So transitioning from doing that, I became consistent with working out and meditating. And while I was at the gym one afternoon, where I was having a lapse, wasn't going in the morning. Lady there, she says, you're in pretty good shape. Maybe you should think about competing. I'm like, competing in what? So she gives me a flyer for a bodybuilding competition on Fort Lewis. And, I got registered. It was like $25 sign up. And I'm like, all right, fine, whatever. So I did that, and I got third place in men's physique, third place in bodybuilding.
Ooh.
Yeah, in the first competition. I didn't do any like meal prep, no cut diet, no nothing. I mean, the night before the show, I was eating a big barbecue bacon cheeseburger with some onion rings and a strawberry milkshake.
Yeah.
I had no idea about nutrition. Still don't have a good grip on it right now. So anybody asking me for a meal plan, I'm sorry. But it was fun doing that. And from that one, there was this guy Sam, very arrogant. So I kind of had an axe to grind after he came in. He had already done some professional shows, and he just came in. He was a ringer, and he came in and he won first place in men's physique.
So what's a ringer? Somebody that's they're going to win it because they're a pro.
Yeah, he had done actual competitions for the National Physique Committee, the NPC. So he had already done some professional shows, and then he just comes back and does his local show and just spanks everyone. I'm like, I got you next time, man. Don't worry about it.
Right? That's not fair.
I know, but here's what happened. The next year, let me see. After that, I liked that competition, so I signed up for the Northwest Classic here in Tacoma, and I did bodybuilding. But you see how my size. I wasn't much bigger then than I am now. I was definitely bigger then, but still wasn't like bodybuilder big. So I wasn't getting a whole lot of anything going with the bodybuilding aspect of it. So in 2015, I switched to doing men's physique category. So I was like a year later, I had done a couple of professional shows. So I come back to the show on Fort Lewis, and I was there. I had done my training. I did a 2-week cut phase, got super ripped, and I was back there doing my thing. And I walked in. I had my hood on. I was all mean mugging the competition and all that day. And I was like, okay, so which one of these guys is the ringer who's going to come in, who's been doing these shows and all that? Where's Sam? I'm looking for that guy. And I ended up at the end of the day, I won first place in men's physique, and then I won first place men's physique overall. And later that night, I was like, it was me that showed up, as the professional. So that was, I kind of came full circle. And from doing other shows, I did the Northwest Classic. I won first place there. And did another show the next weekend, won that one, also went to nationals. But between all that's when I started doing the workout videos. But
are you going to do more workout videos?
Heck no, it's much easier doing flat Earth videos.
Well, we have a funny comment from Sean8033. You can only bench press on a flat Earth.
That's right. That's right. You know, because gravity would be pulling that weight down too hard, man. I'm saying, you know, but yeah, that was, it's that's true. I believe it. I believe it. You know, it's all about buoyancy and density. Freaking gravity. My God. Grow up, people. Just grow
The thing
up.
about gravity, the number one thing that somebody in my real life who I've talked to them about flat Earth, gravity is the first thing they say. In fact, the responses that people give are programmed responses. It seems they're like boom, boom, boom. What's on the edge? Can you fall off the edge? I mean, these same things. Take a picture of the edge. I've seen it through my plane window. In fact, I went out to dinner last night with a guy, nice enough guy, but
Ooh.
nice enough guy though.
All right.
Yeah, you know.
Okay.
He told me that before we met, he told me he was a flat earther. And I'm like, wow, this is really great. So we met, we talked. And then he was talking about things he'd done in his life. And he said that he had flown on the Concorde. And I thought, wow, interesting. Because I mean, that's been closed for quite some time.
Right.
He said, and I saw the curve of the earth. So my mind is thinking, wait a minute, you told me that you were a flat earther and that you saw the curve of the earth. And I'm waiting for maybe a potential punchline to come, but no punchline. He just didn't quite understand what flat earther means and how. And then I said to him, you only thought you saw the curve of the earth through the window. And he said, no, I saw the curve of the earth. And I said, I thought you were a flat earther. And he said, well, I think it's an interesting theory. It's interesting to talk about and to look at different ways we can view the world. And I was like, check, please.
Right, yeah, pretty much.
I mean, it's fine if someone's not a flat earther, but when they present themselves to you as if they are a flat earther and they turn out not to be.
Oh, that's messed up. Oh, he was an agent. He was an agent. He was sent to pose as a flat earther and try to.
But the Concorde of all things to bring up, and you know, I mean, I've seen videos taken from inside the Concorde looking out of the window, and these are older videos before people in the more recent times had started talking about flat earth. So they weren't using a fisheye lens or anything to try to fool people. They were just regular videos and it looked, you know, flat. It didn't look like a curve. So
there you go.
But there are people who are completely genuine, who truly believe that they have seen a curve out of an airplane window.
I know.
Because they've been programmed, or because the way when you even turn around, do a 360 just with your eyes, things are in a circle. So maybe they see that as a curve.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I can't call it. I believe it's a mirage, or it's
that one too.
Kind of a distorted memory. It's like because the indoctrination's gone so deep, it's so prevalent in society that it kind of implants these artificial memories. It's like, I don't know what movie that might have been. I mean, it's like, oh, never mind. Anyway, so, you know,
I'm sure Mark Sargent knows the name of the movie.
Yeah, Mark, what's the name of that movie where they were just putting different memories in, man? But you know, you'll be thinking you remember things that weren't there at the same time, and they're like, yeah, I saw the curvature. No, you're just so programmed you thought you see the curvature or saw the curvature. You're still a, you know, globe enthusiast, and you remember being on a plane and looking out of the window, and because of the programming, you recall your memories are so programmed to make you think that you saw the curvature, but no, you didn't. And I'm going to talk about that in my next video.
Ooh,
because well, a little bit anyway. I'm just going to hit on it real quick, like in that one. I was trying to get it uploaded this morning. I was like, dang it. I tried like 4 times because there's been responses that I've gotten from the spirit level video. And one of them was that, you know, why don't you just look out of the window? To which if
it were that easy, do you think we'd all be here?
You know, I'm like, dude,
I've got better things to do. We all do.
You know, I'm like, if I take 2 flights to somewhere and I take 2 flights back, you don't think I got a window seat on one of those? I mean,
exactly.
You
Have
don't
you
think
ever
I would?
flown in a plane? That's like, yeah, since I was 6 years old, and
Yeah, you know, I mean, seriously. So, look out the window. I'm like, gee, thanks. I never thought about that. And I like post a picture of myself on the plane looking out of the window, and then there's a picture of the flat surface. I got a little line through it. You'll see maybe. But yeah, if I can get the thing uploaded, it'll be up soon.
Well, Mark Sargent immediately chimed in with Dark City in all caps. That's the movie.
There you go.
And we've got Sean 8033, who's pretty funny, who says, "Honey, I Shrunk the Kids" was the name of the movie. A couple people are saying we like this dude. He's cool. So yeah, you are coming across quite favorably, just as you do on your channel. Ukdina Walker says that she subbed to you a couple of weeks ago, and she's been watching all of your videos. And The Matrix is another movie that we have Fire Goggles in here saying that that's a movie we should rewatch. It's definitely part of all a truth seeker, no matter if flat or not, a way of coming awake, but it may have flat earth clues in it.
It may.
I mean, a lot of things in that movie can apply to flat earth. So
yes.
Terry Elrod is saying you're a very likable person.
Well, thank you.
Darren Nicholson says, yeah, I'm definitely subbing his channel. Pretty cool. So if anybody has any kind of questions for D Marble, please put it in all caps. Somebody is also saying Total Recall could potentially, Darren is saying that Total Recall could be the movie where they're putting memories into you. There's a lot of movies. That's a sci-fi staple.
Yeah. I may have been thinking about Total Recall, honestly. There was another one. Dark City, yes. Total Recall would be more. I've seen those a little more. The one with I forget his name. Colin Firth, was it? The one he came out with a few years back. The new Total Recall reboot. But yeah, I mean, just the whole idea that you just kind of build this whole life for somebody that they didn't even have before, and my goodness, that's what that's about, because like I pointed out in another video on Facebook, in order for us to access our notifications, we have to touch a globe every time. Think about that.
It's crazy, isn't it?
It is.
Mark Sargent has the story of when he was trying to find an image of Earth to use on something that he was doing with computer stuff, and he couldn't find. He just found one image, and so that globe image is everywhere. Global. People say global. When you're listening to people that aren't flat earthers and they're talking about anything, just watching a video on anything, and they'll be like, well, blah, 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 globally. And you just, no, it's not globally.
Right. I'm like, you mean across the world? That's
exactly. On the plane or whatever. Yeah. And it seems like people are using globally a whole lot more than they used to, or we're just more hyper aware of it.
Yeah, that's I believe that's referred to as perceptive vigilance.
Really?
I was told. Yes. Huh. It's like that thing when you get a new car and you start seeing it everywhere.
Oh yeah. Is that what that's called? Yeah. That happens to me all of the time.
Right.
And you're driving somewhere and peripherally, you don't even notice it, a new restaurant. 3-4 days later, somebody will say, hey, do you want to meet me at the blah, blah, blah restaurant? And you'd never heard of that restaurant. No one's talking about it. You saw no advertisements for it, but you just drove by it the other day. And I wonder when that happens, if you drove by 15 other things that your mind has retained, but only somebody saying it will jar it out.
Yeah.
So we're definitely not working on all cylinders all of the time, using all of our brain.
There you go.
It's funny when those things happen. Mark Sargent is here to say Colin Farrell, not Colin Firth. Boy, Mark knows everything.
He does.
Mark quit knowing everything.
He's right. That was Colin. Hey, this is my first show, man. I'm kind of nervous. All right.
No, it's not. He's not correcting you, but he just knows the actors, the movie, and everything.
No, I'm messing with him.
Yeah.
He seems like a cool guy.
He really is, actually. Well, I want to thank everybody who's been in our live chat. If there is any question that you've got for D Marble, throw it in there, and I will read it, put it in all caps. Nathan Oakley says, can I have lessons in cool, please? Oh, that's a nice comment.
Somebody teach me.
Ben Zen is saying, have you seen the curved water yet? We can answer that with a no. So I do appreciate you taking your time to be here, and we'll be looking for your new videos. Hopefully there will be even more people watching your videos, and I will be very pleased to see your channel grow, and hopefully we'll be able to talk again at some future date.
Of course.
I plan on getting back into doing panel shows, which I used to do on Mondays, and then I kind of let that go. And I'd like to have you on with a couple of other cool people. So
oh, that'd be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, you'll probably be totally booked up by then, the way things are going.
I'll make time for you.
All right. Well, from our very first show in a van at a home improvement parking lot.
Yep.
Thank you to D Marble. His channel is in the description box, and also some information on some of the things that we've been talking about. I appreciate you taking the time. And you know, I usually end my show and sort of signature end, and you have a signature way you sign off some of your videos. So I'll let you close out the show.
All right, everyone. Take care, be kind to each other, and stay flat.